Today I want to talk about this, or the online system, whichever one you're using to kind of plan out your time at the convention. Now, when looking through here, there's a lot of really important information to pay attention to when you're starting to decide which sessions to go to. And so today I'm just going to talk about kind of the lingo that you're going to find in here. Most sessions are going to be sessions that are 1 to 2 hours long. Those are sessions that you're free to attend, you're free to go to. The majority of them are going to be 1 hour long. That's the most commonly accepted time chunk. So even though you might put in for 2 hours as a speaker, a lot of people are only just assigned 1 hour session time slots. So these could be jam-packed full of great therapy ideas, the latest research and techniques other people are doing, or they can be a snooze fest. You can really get anything depending on what you go to. So 1 hour sessions are what's going to fill up the majority of your schedule. So looking for those in the planner is important. If you're not sure if you want to attend it, be sure to go online and look it up by the number on the convention site under ASHA's webpage, because their speakers have submitted more detailed explanations as to what their session's going to be about and what they're going to be covering. Also, pay really close attention to the icons. So there's a key kind of at the bottom, and you'll see an icon with like an eye and a circle in it, and you're going to see like a little hiker inside of this pocket planner. So those are giving you some information as to whether this is groundbreaking information, like trailblazing, I think is the term we're using this year. Also paying attention if it's an intermediate level. If this is an area you just want to explore while you're at ASHA, you're thinking, I've been thinking about getting into pediatric feeding, so I want to go to this session. Be careful to make sure that it's within your knowledge base and experience. Like for me, I don't do pediatric feeding, so an intermediate session would probably sound like Greek to me. So paying attention to those details can help make sure that you pick really stellar sessions for your 3 jam-packed days at ASHA. Another one is, you're going to notice in here, short courses. Short courses cost additional on top of what you've already paid to go to ASHA. These are typically 3 hours, but these have been invited most often. So that means these speakers have been vetted. So they're good. They're ones people love, people have rated well at the end of convention, and that they're begging to come back and get more information from. A lot of these 3 hours are really jam-packed with some amazing information. I think I've heard once of some people I know going to a short course and like hating it. I went a few years ago to one when Sarah Ward did it, and like, mind blown. It was amazing. 3 hours. I wanted it to be like 8 hours. I was ready to forget everything else at the convention and just attend that session. So they can be really great. So if you look through the short courses and you see something where it's a topic you're really passionate about, it's a speaker either you've heard about or read, other people talking about it online, then maybe consider a short course. Just keep in mind the other courses you might be missing during that time frame, because 3 hours is 3 other sessions that you're not maybe getting to attend at that time. Another one is what you'll see in there are technical sessions. So these sessions are typically like 20 minutes of new research or a new product or a new program that's being put out, and 10 minutes of Q&A. These are very often either done by researchers, by companies who are going to be selling some of their materials, maybe in exhibit hall, maybe not, maybe online. So really looking into who the sponsor is. This is another tip I forgot to mention earlier with just your standard 1 and 2 hour courses. Really look at who the speaker is. Now, there are some great speakers out there that are speaking from the perspective of their company and what they sell. I really love Mind-Wing Concepts. So I love going to their talks, knowing that everything they're talking about is coming from their materials. But I own a ton of their materials. So I love going and listening to them. Same thing if you go to any social thinking. It's all coming from this perspective of the books and the materials that they sell, but maybe you use a ton of social thinking. So knowing that they're coming from a company, just being aware of that sometimes helps you make that decision, and that can help a lot with those technical courses as well. But and also watch the level of those technical courses, because sometimes it can be truly Greek if it's totally just beyond your knowledge base or lingo that you use on a day-to-day basis. You're going to see a lot of poster sessions in there. So the way a poster session works is that there is literally going to be a hall of boards put up, with people pinning up their posters. And there's a set time frame where the person who made the poster is actually standing next to their poster. That set time is the only time you can count for ASHA CEUs. Okay, you cannot count if you walk through during an off time and just read their poster. So if you want to count it as CEUs, then make sure you go during a time where you can talk to a presenter. And be sure to note down which presenters you actually talk to, because when it's time to plug in those CEUs, remembering which posters you attended when can be extremely mind-boggling. But it's also great if you go to a session. So here's the rule of thumb. If you go to a session and it's a complete bore, or it's completely just not your area of interest, it's not going the way you thought it was, it's totally expected to stand up and walk out. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle of the middle row, if you're in the front row, if you're in the back row. If it's just not worth your time to be sitting there, or the speaker's just not doing a really good job, totally expected to stand up and walk out of the session. So you can switch to another session, or sometimes depending on where the other sessions are located, and if I just know I can't walk there fast enough to get anything out of the session, I might hop into posters and use that time to gain some CEUs from looking at some posters and hearing about some research or different therapy techniques people are using around the world. So that's really great. One other thing to note is that in here we have what's called the Twilight Series. So those are typically sessions that happen I think 6:30 at night or later. So a lot of times people are going to go, psh, no, I'm done, I'm fried, I'm heading to dinner. But there can be some really great sessions hiding in those Twilight sessions. A lot of times they'll put a session as a Twilight because then people who are in the area who are working during the day and just coming to the evening, getting to come into ASHA, they can still attend these Twilight sessions. So it's things that are usually really applicable to the community as well. So I hope this explained some of these different terms you're going to see in the Pocket Planner, and I'll be showing you a peek of what I hope to be attending this year a little bit later this week.